Do you think I like working this hard? Do you think I wake up every single morning and I can't wait to sit down and figure out how to say the same thing I've already said a new and different way? Do you think that I get excited to proofread the book I just wrote and reread it for grammar edits for the 100th time? Do you think that I love telling writers the same thing over and over and over again, even though I know the next time I say it to them, they're probably not going to do it and they're going to need to hear it 100 more times? Do you think that I love and appreciate and have fun every single moment of every day? The answer is no, I don't. What I love are the outcomes. I love getting through something that is boring or challenging and then reaping the fruits of my labor. I love holding the book I just wrote in my hands. I don't love the 150 hours I had to spend getting it there, but I love the end result. I love the final product, right? I don't love repeating myself over and over and over again in content I publish on the internet or when I'm doing live sessions with writers. I'm mentoring someone in one of our programs. I don't love repeating myself. It's actually pretty boring for me. I'd rather spend my time doing something else. But what I do love is I love seeing when it clicks. And I love seeing the moment when the other writer wakes up to their own potential, or suddenly they understand how to overcome that obstacle in front of them. I love the end result. I don't love getting myself out of bed at 6:30 in the morning before the sun is up. I have a temperature controlled mattress. I love my bed. It's very comfy and very cozy. And I hate hearing my alarm go off and go, well, I got to get up and I got to get all these things done in the morning so that I can preserve that, hour, 2 hours of writing first thing before I start getting bombarded with Slack messages running our company, right? I don't love doing that. But I love when I finally sit down and I get out of bed and I get through the muck of the morning and all the little chores I have to do. Then I sit down with my cup of coffee and everything's quiet. And then I get to just think. And even if the thinking's hard, I love that. I love that time. And I love to see what I came up with. I love to see the output, the final product. And I think a lot of times, everybody, but especially writers, have this conflated perception of what the journey is supposed to feel like. They're supposed to be in love with the process every day. They're supposed to love what they come up with every day. Every word that they write is supposed to just feel magical. And that's not what it's like. And most things that you have to do are not that enjoyable in the moment. But you love the output. And everyone loves the output. People admire the output. And part of why we admire the output is because on some level we know that the process for getting there is challenging and it's tiring. And more times than not, it's very boring. And something that we say all the time in our writing programs is that the boring work is the moat. So every time you do something that is boring, you have to see it as an unfair competitive advantage. And if I could summarize all of the things that I have achieved over the past decade, writing and writing on the internet, the vast majority of the rewards didn't come from my talent and my intelligence, both of which I think I don't have very much of, truthfully. I often feel like people are a lot more talented and a lot smarter than I am. But my unfair competitive advantage is that I can tolerate a very, very, very high level of boring work. And I don't mind doing it. And I have found a way to fall in love with that process. And so the boring work is your moat. Every time you do something that the average person goes, I don't really want to do that. That doesn't sound all that fun. You get a little bit further away from them. And the more you do that over a longer time horizon, the further and further away you get from the vast majority of competition. Until eventually you realize that it was never about competing with other people. It was always about competing against yourself. And so I share this because right now you probably have a very flawed and faulty misunderstanding of what the journey is supposed to feel like. And you think it's supposed to all be fun. And you think it's supposed to be easy. And you think it's supposed to be effortless. And you think it's supposed to just come to you. And there's talented people and there's untalented people. And if you have it, well, then magical words just fall out of your fingertips. And that couldn't be further from the truth. It has almost nothing to do with that. And it has everything to do with your ability to tolerate really boring work for hours on end. Something I've been repeating to myself endlessly over the past couple of years is it's just hours. Pick an arbitrary number. Anytime you say you want to do something, pick an arbitrary number and just guess and say, I bet it's going to take 100 hours for me to do that. And then whatever you guess, double it. So it's probably going to take me 200 hours. And if I told you that there was a 100% success rate, if all you had to do was get through those 200 hours, you would feel a lot better about going on the journey. And the problem is that the reality of the situation is people don't know the number, right? You never know how many hours it's really going to take you. And because the number is unknown and because the outcome is slightly unknown, most people talk themselves out of taking action at all. And that's why I really like to just set these arbitrary goals for myself. And I just say, it'll probably take me 200 hours. And then I just start counting the hours. And when I get there, I will either have achieved my goal or I will have realized that it actually takes 400 hours, in which case I just go back and do another 200, right? But sometimes it helps to anchor your mindset in something tangible. It's just hours. It's not about talent. It's not about creativity. It's just hours. And so this is something that I often notice. I've mentored over 12,000 writers at this point between our two programs, Ship 30 for 30 and our Premium Ghostwriting Academy. And I find over and over and over again that writers expect to put forth the tiniest bit of effort, but unlock outcomes equivalent to someone putting forth a decade of effort. And what that has shown me is that the first step is recognizing how flawed your understanding is of what needs to be done. Because it's not supposed to feel fun every day. It's not supposed to be easy. That is the differentiator. That is the moat, right? And it's the people who embrace the challenge of that end up widening themselves from everyone else. And so I just wanted to share this. I hope this is helpful. Maybe this is what you need to hear. Again, is this my favorite thing to say and talk about? Not necessarily. I'd rather be working on my own writing. But I share it because I enjoy the output. And I really enjoy seeing when it clicks for someone else. And when another writer wakes up to their own potential or realizes what they need to do in order to achieve their goals. So I hope this is helpful for you.